Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today I'm really excited to share with you a new solid conditioner formulation. So this is a beautiful bar of cranberry orange solid hair conditioner. I've been working on this formulation for a while, since sometime this summer, and it was inspired originally by a sample formulation I found on UL Prospector for the Zen conditioner bar, and I will make sure to link that in the description box below. In case you didn't know, many suppliers and manufacturers provide sample formulations that use the products that they sell. So it's a lot like when you go to the grocery store, and if they have a new product, a lot of the time the manufacturer will have provided some sample recipes that are sometimes available in like tear-off pads. Maybe they don't do that anymore and they just put them on their website, but you know, they provide you with a bunch of recipes so you know what to do with their product. So it's a marketing strategy, and it's also a really great way to learn because these are professionally developed formulations. So there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned from looking at them and seeing what they do with their own ingredients. Sample formulations like this are a fabulous way to learn about something that you might already have and not know what to do with, or just a product that you want to learn how to make and you don't really have any starting points. Once you start working with the sample formulation, and especially if you have a pretty good handle on what the ingredients in the sample formulation are and what they do, you can start to make swaps for what you have, and it's a really great way to learn and to create new formulations. They can also expose you to new ways to make things that you have made in the past, and that's really what this sample formulation did for me. The super cool thing about this formulation is that it includes a small amount of water, which is not something I had done in a conditioner bar before, but I've noticed two great benefits from including a small amount of water in the formulation. The first benefit is that it gives you a medium to dissolve water-soluble powders in. So I've included some silk peptides, some hydrolyzed silk peptides in this formulation, and they dissolve beautifully in the water. Ditto for the powdered panthenol. So that's awesome thing number one. And awesome thing number two, the inclusion of some water in the conditioner bar formulation means that we don't get that funny kind of wavy top that you can get on them when you don't have any water in the formulation. So I think that's also pretty cool. The sample formulation used BTMS 25 at 60%, but I have been working on the formulation to use BTMS 50 instead. Now BTMS 50 and BTMS 25 have different amounts of the active ingredient, which is behentramonium methosulfate. That's what the BTMS stands for. 50 has it at 50% and 25 has it at 25%. I find that BTMS 25 tends to make things much harder and thicker than BTMS 50 does, owing to its larger content of cetearyl alcohol. And so it wasn't as simple as making it a one-to-one swap, because we have both the differences in concentration, but also the differences in hardening. So I worked through several different iterations of this formulation, and I've been testing it for quite a while to come up with the one that I'm sharing with you today. If you want to learn more about this formulation and you want to see the sample formulation that I got started from, make sure you are checking out the blog post, which is linked in the description box below. There you'll find more discussion of the formulation, links to places to buy all the ingredients, information on substitutions, scaling, shelf life, and a whole lot more. But come on, let's get started. We'll begin by combining our heated phase ingredients in a glass beaker here. So you're going to need 15 grams of BTMS 50, 15 grams of cetearyl alcohol, 7.5 grams mango butter, and 7.5 grams cranberry seed oil. The other thing we're going to be heating up is some water. And so this is a small 50 milliliter beaker, and I'm just adding about 40 milliliters of distilled water to it, and we're just going to heat that up. We'll weigh it out later once it's hot, so the precise amount isn't important. We're only going to need about 2 grams of water once it's hot. To heat everything up, I'm actually going to do something a little different this time, and I'm going to do it in the oven. So I'm going to pop both of these beakers on a baking tray and put them in about a 200 degrees Fahrenheit oven. And that's because I find BTMS 50 really does not like to melt for me in water baths, where the oven gets her done. So yeah, I'm gonna go pop this in the oven now. While our heated ingredients heat through, we're going to combine the ingredients for our cool down phase in a small little beaker here. So you can see there is something in here. Those tiny little specks down there, that is our dye. For this conditioner bar, I'm using this new to me water-soluble dye from Humblebee. So this is Direct Orange 39, and these water-soluble dyes are insanely potent. So The formulation calls for 0.01% of the dye, which comes out to 0.005 grams, which I can't actually weigh out. My scale is not precise enough. So I've just put in some tiny little specks and that will do the trick, which is amazing. So to that, we're going to add 1 gram hydrolyzed silk protein, 0.75 grams panthenol or vitamin B5, half a gram of Optiphen Plus, and 0.49 grams of either orange essential oil or a fragrance of your choice. I am using Cranberry salsa fragrance oil from Rustic Essentials, which smells amazing and is very well suited to our cranberry orange theme. So I'm just going to give this a bit of a stir with this adorable little lab spoon. Just kind of break up any clumps of panthenol or silk or anything. So what we're going to do once everything is melted, I'm going to add the required amount of water to this beaker, and that'll be hot water from the oven. And then once that's all blended together, we'll stir it in with the melted oils and then quickly mold that. So you can see everything has melted there. So now we're ready for next steps. So I'm going to fire up the scale. And the next thing we need to do is add just the right amount of hot water. So we need 2.25 grams of hot water. So you'll really start to see the dye bloom in here as the water incorporates. Now make sure you are remembering that the 2 beakers that were in the oven are hot. So make sure you are using hot mitts when you are handling them. The one that I was just holding and stirring there, that one was never in the oven, and once I added the water, it cooled down pretty quickly, so it was not very hot. So we're giving this a stir to combine, and then it's going straight into our mold and then straight into the freezer. All right, and now I'm going to carry this mold to the freezer. Something that you can do to try and use up the bits of conditioner left in the beaker, you can kind of combine them, and that'll make a bit of a cream conditioner. You'll need to use it up quite quickly as it's not really adequately preserved, but if you wanted to quickly blend this up and then use it within the next day or two as a cream conditioner, you can totally do that. So I'm just going to grab a little mini mixer. There you go. That's a pretty simple way to use up kind of the remnants of the container and make your cleanup a lot easier. Obviously, we don't know exactly what the ratios are of everything in here, but generally speaking, it's hair conditioner. So I'm actually just going to go take a shower right now and use this to condition my hair while we let that conditioner bar freeze. All right, so this has been in the freezer for about an hour. Doesn't necessarily need to be in there that long, but I was taking a shower and doing some other things. So what you're looking for is that it feels cold, like touching the bottom of this, feels cold, and I can pull the sides away, and that also, it should feel solid, like I'm kind of pushing the bottom here, and it's not, I'm not denting it with my thumb. And you can see it kind of will start to come away fairly easily once you've loosened the sides. If you can't easily pull the sides away from the bar, if you start to notice cracking through the bar when you pull the sides away, it is not ready to unmold. But here we go. And there it is in all of its square orangey glory. Now I do recommend letting this dry for about 2 to 3 days before you use it. If you want more discussion on that, please make sure you are reading the blog post, which is linked in the description box below. But yeah, there you go. That's about it. We just made a beautiful cranberry orange conditioner bar. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and please make sure you are clicking through to that blog post linked in the description box below to learn more about this formulation. And thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.